Well, this morning we launched on Lake Sammamish again. This is about 5 days after, well, I should say, if you're worried about that water blotch right there, have no fear. I noticed it and I wiped it off. And it left it a little blotchy, but that'll dry. Well, we're out on Lake Sammamish. This is 5/25, which is about 5 days after my epic fishing adventure where I caught 5 measurable fish that included 3 largemouths and 2 smallmouths. And I thought, well, let's see if we can replicate that. So we're out on Lake Sammamish again, trying to do the same thing. What we're going to do is we're going to go up the east shore this time. I've had varying successes depending on which shore that I go to, so I thought, well, let's try the east shore, see if we have a similar bass behavior as we did on the west shore. So I'm going to be using the same technique as the previous outing, and that's skipping a wacky worm under docks. And I'll try to fish just about every dock, but the ones I really like are the ones that are like 3 or 4 inches above the water line. Those are nice because a lot of people don't put in the effort to get a wacky worm under there and check out for the bites. And this is a dock that actually held a fish. So I caught this smallmouth under this dock, and that's one of the reasons why I love smallmouth, is just check out how much this rod bends. There's quite a lot of pull going on there. They're really quite energetic. Even though this isn't much of a fish, it was still kind of an exciting fight. So I really appreciate the smallmouths here. But I put in a lot of effort to get this one fish, and quite a few docks and quite a bit of effort, and it wasn't much of a fish, but there you have it. That one little fish, though, he did ratchet up my my confidence level that there are fish here. Probably not biting, but there's definitely fish in the area. So I continue to fish docks and grind a bit to try to pick up another fish here or there. They just weren't biting really aggressively. So I realized at this point it was going to be a slog. This dock right here, however, is a bit of a deslogger. So I cast it in the more shallow area, right off that post right there. And I'd like to say it's exactly where I wanted to cast it, but you know, it's me casting, so that's where it ended up. And yeah, it didn't take long, and a fish picked it up. So pretty excited about that. And it turns out that this fish here is it's a largemouth. Well, I don't know. I don't understand why I'm catching so many largemouths, but it may be the fact that I am fishing that shallower portion of the docks. Now, a lot of people don't fish those shallower portions of the docks because they just don't expect the fish to be there. But I've been noticing on this year that a lot of these largemouths are coming out of that 1 to 4 foot of water area, the inside portion of the weed line. And that's good fish handling skills there, Pat. But that's where the largemouth seem to be, is in that shallower portion. Yeah, I'm taking a picture of this fish. Just need to pad out that 5 fish limit that I need for the year-long tournament. So it's a largemouth. I need largemouths. Getting a picture. It's always fun when the fish are that exuberant on a release. Even though I continued to fish a few more docks on this side of the lake, it really was a challenge. And so I decided, what the heck, let's go check the other side of the lake. I do occasionally see significant differences in the bite between one side of the lake and the other. Like, I have been trolling on one side for 2.5 hours and not getting a single bite, crossed over the lake and just get bite after bite after bite. So I thought, well, it's worth going out and checking it out. So I did go to the other side, and this very first dock I roll into is a section that looked pretty good to me. I've fished this before and not picked up any fish in here, but it looked good, so I tried to make a cast under that little sliver of a section of that dock on the left and didn't do a really good job of it. And then I cast under the adjacent dock here, and it's difficult to see where that cast went, but it went right under that little sliver of opening there, right behind the boat lift, right? Yeah, that section right in there. And it didn't take long, and I realized there's something messing around with my line there. So you can see me reel up here and set the hook. Yep, I had a fish on, and it's quite feisty. Turns out this also was a largemouth bass. I don't get it. Lake Sammamish has traditionally been a really strong smallmouth fishery for me. And I always struggle to catch largemouth here, to the point where I'd catch one or two a year. So this year's been quite out of the ordinary for me. And I think it's probably because I'm just spending a lot more time flipping a wacky worm under docks. And I am, as I said, including that shallow area, that 1 to 4 foot area, because that's where the largemouths are coming from. Yeah, this fish is a nice fish, and I did measure it. It's right around 16 inches, which is not a very big fish, but I had so much trouble the previous year getting 5 fish for my year-end tournament that I decided that I should measure this one just to make sure I have 5 in my creel. But I'm sure future Pat will tell you that this is going to get called out. I do want to apologize. You probably noticed that the quality of the camera that's my bow mount is not nearly as good as the rear mount, and that's a settings problem that I do eventually figure out. I don't know at what point my videos will start looking a little better, but yeah, the quality of that shot is not very good. But neither is the weather here. It's starting to rain pretty bad, and I've been out there for 5 hours, so I decided, well, I can get all my rain gear put on and put in all that effort, or I can start working my way back to the ramp. And I did work my way back to the ramp, and I stopped and I fished a couple of sections that had lily pads, and managed to lose my anchor there. So yeah, there's that. That wasn't fun, and it was like right before a tournament too. So it was a bit of a challenge to get a new anchor in time for my tournament, but I was able to do it. Anyway, so I'm going to pack it in here for the rest of the day. If you enjoy this silliness or this faulty morale, by all means, please like and subscribe and share with all your friends and family. And I appreciate you guys stopping by the channel. That's pretty much all I got for you. Thank you.